Hello and welcome to this week's Women's Football Chat. My name is Chris Gadsby. I'm here every Tuesday, usually at 6 p.m, bringing you the very latest from the third and fourth tiers of women's football here in England. My apologies that this week's episode is coming a bit late as I've been ill with a cold and a sore throat, and I've still got a cold, which is why I sound a bit different. My throat feels okay, so I'm carrying on with the show as normal, but I'm going to try and keep this a lot shorter and just kind of almost race through it a bit because, well, we've got another show coming in 4 days' time. One piece of news to talk about, significant to start with, the playoff game from the Northern and Southern Premier Divisions to go into the Championship. The date of that has been announced. It's the 21st of May at Stockport Counties, Edgeley Park. So that is something to look forward to in the coming weeks. Let's get straight down to it then. Northern results. Excuse me. Now, because this is later than planned, we've got some from this week as well. But we'll start with Sunday. Fylde against Stoke. That's a 2-1 win for Fylde. 27th minute, Faye McCoy opening the scoring. Amy Hughes just before half-time made it 2-0. Noala Mizkiel on the 56th minute got one back for Stoke. 5-0 Huddersfield win away at Hull. Goals for Bethany Ibbotson, Mia Parry, Brittany Sanderson with 2, and Katie Stanley as well. Burnley with a good 6-2 victory over Loughborough Lightning. 2 for Evie Priestley, 2 for Millie Grace Ravening, 1 for Courtney Willis and 1 for Megan Ann Dykes, getting the 6 goals for Burnley. Chloe Young on the 62nd minute and Anna Renkin in the 90th minute with the goals for Loughborough. Nottingham Forest, a very convincing 7-0 victory against Middlesbrough. Goals in this one, 2 for May Moncaster, 22nd and 51st minute. 2 for Charlotte Greengrass, 37th and 79th minute. 1 for Naomi Powell in the 83rd minute. And 1 for Amy West in the 95th minute. There appears to be one missing from that as well. There does appear to be a goal missing from that game. Only 6 down on the sheet at the moment. West Brom 2, Brighouse Town 2, then a draw there. Drew Green and Danielle Whitten with the goals for Brighouse. West Brom, Evangeline Gallup, and again there's a missing goal on that one for West Brom. Wolves 2, Sheffield 0. Kelly Darby, 14th minute, and Tammy George, 25th minute, gave Wolves the points they needed for the title. We'll have a look at the table in a moment. But Wolves, the champions of the Northern Prem, we know they're going to be at Stockport in May. Right, this week then, on Wednesday, Loughborough Lightning 1, Forest 1. Goal for Loughborough Lightning not been put on the sheet at the moment, and goal for Forest coming to Amy West in the 84th minute. Wolves at Molineux against Brighouse Town, a crowd of about 2,500 in there on that one. 30th minute, Marie Gauntlet getting the goal for Wolves, alongside a opposition own goal in the 2nd minute to put Wolves ahead. Leah Embley and Imogen Portis-Williams getting the goals for Brighouse. And Huddersfield against Burnley, a 0-0 draw. What that means for the table then is that Wolves are the champions. They're 10 points clear of Derby with just 2 games to go. So Wolves, champions of the Northern Premier Division, and they will be facing the winner of the Southern Premier Division, which is much more up in the air, on the 21st of May at Stockport. Down towards the bottom, Hull City are relegated with a 13-point gap with 3 games to go. But we did know that already from last week's show. Sheffield, they've got a 12-point gap to make up 15 on the table, so they're not out of it yet. But it is starting to look a bit more unlikely for Sheffield. Middlesbrough, 21 games played. They've got 3 games to go. They're 3 points away from safety. Loughborough and Stoke City both on 19 points now. But Loughborough have got 3 games to go and Stoke have only got 2. Have a look at that run-in then. I've kind of, again, still put these 3 teams on because I think Sheffield are coming from too far back. Loughborough and Middlesbrough in action on Easter Sunday in a couple of days' time. Stoke not. And then we've got those final 2 games. You look at those run-ins. You think Middlesbrough facing Sheffield. Could well be 3 points from there. I think Loughborough have got a tough run-in. Huddersfield, Fylde and Wolves. It could well be that they are done in terms of points for the rest of the season, but you never know. Stoke have got Hull and West Brom, so you think they could pick up some points there as well. So Loughborough, that could well have proved to be a valuable point that they got against Forest, because when you have a look at the goal difference, Loughborough's goal difference is 8 better than Middlesbrough's, so if they are tied on points, it's advantage to Loughborough. Right, let's go through to the Southern Premier Division then. There's loads to talk about here. It's Chichester and Chelsea 0, Portsmouth 1. Portsmouth then winning that game by a 0-0. That was on the Wednesday, so that was over a week ago now. Danielle Rowe in the 2nd minute opening the scoring, and that was the only goal of the game. Crawley 4, Hounslow 1. Goals for Crawley: Florence Jackson, Latita Nichols and Aisha Swaby. Goal for Hounslow is not on the system, and they lose by 4-1. Bridgewater United 1, Oxford 0. That's goal to Jenna Markham. Crawley Wasps 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. Goals to Crawley to Imogen Lancaster and Latita Nichols again. Gillingham against Keynsham postponed. Ipswich held to a 1-1 draw to Chichester and Chelsea, and that really helps Southampton in their fight for the title. Amelia Hammond in the 8th minute getting goal for Chichester and Chelsea, who went in at half-time 1-0 up. Lucy O'Brien getting the goal back for Ipswich, I believe about 10 minutes from time, if I remember rightly, and Ipswich getting a point from that game. Portsmouth, revenge on MK Dons after the defeat to them the week before. They win by a 0-0. Sherelle Castle getting the goal in that one. And then finally at the weekend, Southampton 5, Hounslow 0. Goals to Southampton. Ella Pusey, 2 goals in the space of 4 minutes, 54th and 58th. Shannon Sivright in the 36th. Kiera Alice Watling in the 62nd. And Sophia Farrow in the 76th. So 5-0 victory for Southampton. Then we go into this week. Couldn't quite fit everything on one page. Crawley Wasps 4, Gillingham 2. No details about that game on the website as of yet. Oxford United beating Hounslow by 3-0 to keep their title fight alive. 15th minute Lily Stevens, 27th minute Gemma Sims, and 43rd minute Sophie Baker giving Oxford the win. And a convincing 9-1 victory for Southampton over Keynsham Town. Goals to Lucia Kendall, 2nd minute, Ella Morris, 5th minute and also the 48th, Ella Pusey, 20th minute and the 72nd, Kiera Alice Watlin, 40th minute and the 86th, Shannon Sivright, 74th minute, and Alice Griffiths, 82nd minute, making up the 9 goals. Keynsham goal not on the website as of yet. So we look at the Southern Premier Division table, and you see that Southampton now 4 points clear at the top and with a game in hand. Ipswich then in 2nd after dropping points to Chichester and Chelsea. Oxford United in 3rd, still in the shout at the moment, but a win for Southampton, or 4 points really for Southampton from their final 4 games, will take Oxford out of it. You feel that a win might do as well because of that 22 goal difference advantage that Southampton got. I mean, you're talking there, dividing it by 6. I mean, it's a 4-goal margin each time. It's not impossible to overturn, that you think Oxford maybe 6 points back and with a game in hand, it might be a bit difficult, particularly when you look at the run-ins as well. Towards the bottom, it's still 3 of 6 could go down, but you've got Chichester and Chelsea and Keynsham Town there, who can only get to 24 points. And you look at Keynsham Town's goal difference, they've got to win both of their 2 games and overturn a 62 goal difference deficit to stay up. But obviously it's not mathematically certain yet, so I haven't put an R next to their name. Chichester and Chelsea have to do a similar thing, but they've only got to overturn a 20 goal margin. And when you look at Cardiff's run-ins, it could be that happens. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that happens, or at least only an 18 goal difference to Plymouth Argyle's, because they've got 4 games left to play. So we'll see over the coming weeks what happens, but Chichester and Chelsea and Keynsham Town have to win their remaining games to stand a chance. Run-ins then will start at the bottom. I think it's going to be one of these 3 teams, because as I've mentioned, Chichester and Chelsea and Keynsham Town, I believe, are down, but it's not mathematically certain yet. So you look at these, they've got 4 games left to play, including this weekend. Cardiff have got Crawley, Plymouth have got Southampton. If I had to put any money on which one of these 3 teams is going to be the one that goes down, I think it's going to be Cardiff, because they've got Crawley, who are in 6th, Gillingham, who are in 5th, and Southampton, who are currently in 1st, and 2 of those are away from home. MK Dons, I think, could well get something from that Keynsham game on the last day. Is it likely to be 3 points? I think it could be, because Keynsham, you would think by that point, have got nothing to play for. But you look at it and you go, well, if that puts MK Dons on 29 points, it's not a given, but you would think Plymouth are going to beat Hounslow, because everybody has this season. So that puts them on 27. And then you look at Cardiff and you think you've got to get at least a win from those games. And Crawley's probably the one, if they're going to, that they are. But I think going to Southampton on final day might just make it too difficult for Cardiff. And maybe those 2 deducted points could result in being the difference. Let's have a look at the top then. Southampton now 4 points clear of Ipswich and 6 points clear of Oxford. Ipswich and Oxford have got to face each other, so they can't both obviously win that game. So I feel as though, if that's a draw, it obviously helps Southampton even more. If Ipswich win, Oxford are out of it. If Oxford win, I think that's probably the best case scenario for Southampton, because I think Oxford are going to be too far out of it by that point, given that Southampton have got Plymouth this weekend and then Portsmouth in the week. And it's all at home, of course, for Southampton as well. Southampton have then got to play Oxford. Oxford have got to play Ipswich. Oxford also got to face Gillingham. They've got to face the other top teams. I think they're coming from too far back, if I'm honest, particularly when you look at it and you go, well, Oxford have got to win all their 3 games. They've got to take points off Ipswich. They've got to take points off Southampton. Obviously, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. If they can do it, then it throws it wide open, because you'd end up with, Oxford on 59 points and Southampton not, as far ahead as they could be. Could happen. We'll see. Right. Let's go through into Division 1 North. We'll start with the North. Just 4 results. Bradford 0, Liverpool Feds 2. Goals for Liverpool Feds coming to Bethany Donoghue and Rosie Kinvig. Chorley 2, Newcastle 1, a loss to Newcastle at the hands of Chorley. Casey Elson getting Newcastle's goal. Emma Hickson and Laura Walker getting the 2 goals for Chorley to put them, give them the 3 points against Newcastle. FC United Manchester 2, Norton Stockton Ancients 0. 2 goals for Kirsty Chambers, 63rd and 92nd minute. And a convincing 6-0 victory for Leeds over Alnwick Town. 4 goals for Laura Bartup, Amy Woodruff on the 49th minute and Abby Brown on the 87th minute. What that means for the table is that Liverpool have really pegged Newcastle back. They're now just 1 point back with 2 games in hand. Chorley are up to 4th. At the bottom, mathematically, any 2 of 7 could still go down, although it's looking extremely unlikely. I mean, Chester Street Town can only catch FC United of Manchester. They're 9 points back with 9 on the table. They have to win them all. We'll look at the run-ins coming up. Barnsley are 3 points back from FC United Manchester, but they've got a game in hand. But because Barnsley can technically get to 29, Durham Sestra technically not safe. I mean, realistically, do we think that's going to happen? Probably not. When you look at the run-ins. But it is tight in that bottom half of the table. You've got Stockport 24, Norton Stockton Ancients 24, Bradford 22, FC United and Manchester 20. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that some of those teams or one of those teams could get dragged in if Barnsley or FC United of Manchester find form. Let's have a look at the run-ins. Then we'll look at the bottom to start with. Difficult one for FC United of Manchester. Chorley, who have just beaten Newcastle. Leeds, who are 3rd. Liverpool Feds, who are 2nd. Difficult run-in for FC United of Manchester. It's possible that they've done for the season in terms of their points. Barnsley have got Alnwick. They'd be targeting that game. They've then got Chester, definitely targeting that game. And Newcastle on the last day. Could be a difficult game for them. They're probably looking at their next 2 games over the next 2 weekends as the games they need to win to try and get themselves out of the bottom 3. Chester have got Leeds at home this weekend. They're 3rd. Chester have to win. Then they've got Barnsley. Then they've got Alnwick. If they can beat Leeds, they might feel they've got a chance because they've got the better goal difference than FC United of Manchester as well. If they can beat Leeds, and then they know that they have to beat Barnsley and then Alnwick. Alnwick, they're probably thinking, yeah, we can beat them. Barnsley, that's going to be a crucial tie. And I think what makes that game so crucial is that if it is still to play for both sides, a loss for either of those sides may well send the other one down depending on what happens elsewhere. So that could be a fight for survival game. Let's have a look at the top. At the top, the game between Alnwick and Newcastle has moved to the 24th, which means that Liverpool on Sunday and then on Thursday are going to play their 2 games in hand. So those 2 title-chasing teams play their final 2 games at the same time. It does mean, of course, that Liverpool could find themselves 5 points ahead of Newcastle by the time that the 24th comes around. Liverpool have got Leeds, who are in 3rd, and FC United of Manchester, who are in 9th as those final 2 games. Newcastle have got Alnwick and Barnsley, 2 teams in the bottom of in the relegation zone at the moment. So Newcastle are going to be targeting 56 points to finish, which means Liverpool need, because of the goal difference inferior by 20 at the moment, Liverpool Fed are going to need 8 points from those 4 games to be assured of the title, you would think. And anything can happen, of course. But they've got to face Chorley away, who have just beaten Newcastle. Leeds, who are 3rd. Those are 2 games that they could slip up. And they need a win from one or at least 2 draws from those 2 games to give themselves a chance of the mathematical title going into the final day. Providing, of course, that Newcastle do win those games. There are still so many permutations at the moment, but it is very exciting. I love this time of year. Right, Midlands results. Let's have a look at those. So, Burton Albion 2, Wem Town 1, Leaford Athletic 1, Peterborough United 2, Long Eaton 1, Doncaster Rovers Bells 1, and Sporting Cows 3, Solihull Moors 0. Burton Albion then beating Wem Town by 2-1 in the first of that double header at the bottom of the table. Ella Ritchie getting a goal for Burton, as well as the other goals. It was a penalty, to Amber Lee Denny is the other goal to Burton Albion, and Wem Town's goal coming to Lauren Rees. Leaford Athletic 1, Peterborough United 2. Chantal Thier in the 20th minute put Leaford Athletic in front. 2 goals for Jessica Driscoll, 28th and 54th minute, gave Peterborough United a 2-1 away victory. Long Eaton United 1, Doncaster Rovers Bells 1. Charlotte Dinsdale the goal for Doncaster Rovers Bells. Long Eaton United not on the website yet, but When you said last week coming into this game, Doncaster Rovers Bells had to win to keep the title race alive, they didn't, and Boldmere St Michael's have got the Division 1 Midlands title, so congratulations to them without actually having to kick a ball last weekend. And finally, Sporting Cows 3, Solihull Moors 0. 2 goals to Olivia Woolston and 1 to Rebecca Gill-Parsons gives Sporting Cows a 3-0 victory. The table then, Boldmere St Michael's champions with a game to go because Doncaster Rovers Bells had failed to beat Long Eaton United. So congratulations to Boldmere. We'll see you in the Northern Premier Division next season. Down towards the bottom then, it's 2 from 3 to go down now. Burton Albion's victory over Wem Town means that Sporting Cowser with their victory can no longer be caught. So we'll have a look at the bottom 3. Leaford Athletic on 18, Burton Albion on 14 and Wem Town on 13. Let's have a look at that run-in because Burton Albion have got Wem Town again this weekend. This time it's at Burton. It's at Wem Town this time. It was at Burton last time and Burton got the victory. Now, Leaford have got Long Eaton United. It is possible that with a win, if Leaford win and Burton win, Wem Town are down. That's the situation this weekend. Now, if Leafield win and Burton and Wem draw, they're virtually both down because Burton Albion will find themselves 6 points away from safety with 2 games to play, but their goal difference will be vastly inferior. Leafield have got that game in hand as well to try and drag themselves further away. It's against Sporting Cowser. It's 8th versus 9th, but Sporting Cowser are now safe. Final 2 weekends, Leaford Athletic have got Boldmere, who are in 1st, and Burton Albion, who are currently in 10th. So it's going to be very tight at the bottom if it does come down to the final day. Wem Town have got Biddeford United, who of course are already relegated on the 24th. They're away from home. They'll be targeting 3 points from that one. That puts them on 16 potentially. They could get even closer. So this one, I could see this one coming down to the final day between 2 teams. It could easily come down to Leafield against Burton at Leafield on the final day. Winner stays up. It could easily come down to that. Division 1 South East then, convincing victory for Wimbledon against Harlow Town. 7-1 win for them. Goals in that one, 4 goals to Ashley Hinks, 25th, 52nd, 56th, 73rd minute. Kelly Hyman in the 8th minute, Chloe Sampson in the 81st, and Katie Stanley in the 54th, making it 7-1 to Wimbledon. Harlow Town's goal, Chloe Bassett on the hour mark. Billericay Town keeping that title charge up. Jay Blackie, Logan Murray O'Shea, Zoe Russian and Ruby Seeley getting the 4 goals for Billericay Town to give them a 4-0 victory over Cambridge City. Queen's Park Rangers 3, Kent Football United 3. Great result for Kent Football United. Priscilla Martin's 6th minute, Chloe Francis 68th minute, Priscilla Martin's 93rd minute made with their 3 goals. 2 for Brogan Moore and 1 for Erin Pope for Queen's Park Rangers made it 3-3. In the table then, 1 game to go for Billericay Town. A win is all that they can do. If they win, they get the title. If they don't, it goes to #United, who beat them in the County Cup last night. At the bottom, 2 from 4 can still technically go down, but 2 of these games could be decided this weekend because we've got Stevenage playing their final game this weekend. They have to win. Norwich are playing this weekend as well. A win would mean they're safe. So it could get all the more difficult for Enfield Town, but we'll have a look at the run-in at the bottom. Oh, sorry, there is no run-in at the bottom. I remember that. I didn't make a graphic because there is only 1 game left. So I decided not to make a graphic because it wouldn't really show much. Division 1 South East then. So this weekend, Harlow are already down. They're facing Kent Football United in the match of the relegated teams. Norwich with a win against Wimbledon would be safe, but Wimbledon are in 3rd, so that will be a difficult one for them. Stevenage face Queen's Park Rangers. Now, if Stevenage don't win, they're relegated. And if Norwich win, then Enfield Town will have to beat Kent Football United on the last day and hope that Cambridge City lose to Actonians. In fact, even if Cambridge City don't beat Actonians, But Cambridge City next week have got their game in hand against Cambridge United, so it could be all decided by the last day of the season. Right, Division 1 South West, we'll go through these 4 fixtures and then have a look at what's coming up this weekend. So Bournemouth 4, Cheshire United 1. Important victory for Bournemouth, a hat-trick for Becky Bath, 14th, 18th, 35th minute. Katie James, 60th minute, getting their 4th. Gemma Fraser getting the only goal for Cheshire United. Larkhall Athletic, Maidenhead United, a 0-0 draw. Poole Town 0, Exeter City 7, a hat-trick for Connie Pengelly, 25th, 35th, 57th minute. 51st minute, Jessica Sandland. 41st minute, Molly Taylor. 63rd minute, Sarah Stacey. 60th minute, Stephanie Beck. 7-0 convincing victory for Exeter. Southampton Women 1, Swindon Town 1. Goals in that one, Kelly Warren, 66th minute, Annabelle Colston, 73rd minute. The draw for Southampton Women took them out of contention. It's now a 2-horse race between Cheltenham and Bournemouth for the title in Division 1 South West. And both games are this weekend. It's been decided on Easter Sunday down in the South West. It's very simple. Cheltenham are at home to Cheshire United. Cheltenham, if they win, they get the title. If Cheltenham don't win and Bournemouth win away at Exeter, Bournemouth get the title because of their superior goal difference. So if Bournemouth win, Cheltenham have to win. If Bournemouth don't win, it's Cheltenham's title regardless. It's as simple as that. So somebody is going to be kind of halfway between Cheltenham and Exeter, that's down on the M5, in a lay-by somewhere, watching the games and trying to figure out which way they need to drive on the M5 as the game progresses. But that was going to be an enthralling afternoon of football as Cheltenham and Bournemouth both go for the title. Right, let's have a look at the fixtures coming up then. We've gone through some of them already. Northern Premier Division, though, we've got Huddersfield against Loughborough, Hull against Derby, Sheffield against AFC Fylde, and West Brom against Middlesbrough. Sheffield kind of have to win, you feel. If they don't win, then a point for Loughborough. A point for Loughborough would almost see Sheffield down, but Stoke aren't playing this weekend, so it's still going to be a 12-point gap. So nothing's going to be decided in the Northern Premier this weekend, and obviously Wolves are already already promoted. They're in the playoff in May. Southern Premier Division. We've said it a couple of times already. We've got Bridgewater, Portsmouth, Cardiff City, Crawley, Chichester, Hounslow, Ipswich, London and Southampton, Plymouth. So Keynsham not playing. A win for Cardiff. And of course Plymouth are playing as well. So a point for Cardiff and a point for Plymouth would send both Chichester and Keynsham down. Chichester are playing Hounslow, but they require Cardiff and Plymouth to one or other to lose to stay alive. You'd think Plymouth would be the one there that's the more guaranteed to lose because they're away at Southampton, and Southampton are looking to secure their spot against Wolves in the playoff final. So we could see one relegation this weekend. We could see 2. So we'll just have to see how that pans out on Sunday. Division 1 Midlands, 3 games. Leaford Athletic against Long Eaton United, Wemtown Burton Albion and Peterborough United Solihull Moors. We've spoken already with 2 games to go. If Wemtown lose and Leaford Athletic win, then Wemtown are down. A draw between Wemtown and Burton Albion with a Leaford Athletic win would all but send Burton down as well. Division 1 North, we've got Barnsley, Alnwick Town, Chester Street Town, Leeds. We've got Durham, Cester, Bradford City, FC United of Manchester, Chorley, and Liverpool Feds, Norton Stockton, Ancients. So towards the bottom there, Chester Street Town have to beat Leeds United to avoid going down. Barnsley as well against Alnwick Town need to win to try and pull themselves level with FC United Manchester, who aren't playing this weekend, so they can't drop Barnsley any further back. Also, they are playing this weekend. They're at home to Chorley. So Barnsley will need to try and avoid dropping 6 points back with 3 games to play. But a win against Alnwick Town could see them out of the relegation zone once again. Division 1 South East, Harlow against Kent Football United, Norwich City against AFC Wimbledon, and Stevenage against Queen's Park Rangers. We've been through this a bit. I'll brush on it again quickly though. Stevenage have to beat QPR to have a chance of staying up. If they fail to beat QPR, they are down. Norwich City can secure their safety this weekend with a victory against AFC Wimbledon. Harlow Town and Kent Football United already down. And then the big one in Division 1 South West, Cheltenham against Chesham, Exeter against Bournemouth, and Portishead against Southampton Women. If Cheltenham win, they get the title. If Bournemouth win, they get the title. If Cheltenham fail to win, and it's Portishead against Southampton, just 2 mid-table sides. And that's everything covered for this week's Women's Football Chat. Again, apologies that it's late. Now, I'm going to try my best to keep across everything on Sunday afternoon, so keep an eye on my Twitter at Chris_Gadsby. I'm working on Sunday, but not until 6 p.m. So I don't have to leave until after the games have all finished. So I should be able to keep abreast of everything on Sunday afternoon as we see relegation and titles decided. Thank you very much for joining me. As ever, if you want to get involved in the show, leave a comment down below, or on Twitter is at Chris_Gadsby. My messages are always open. Thank you very much for watching, and should be, all being well, back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. For the latest Women's Football Chat focusing on the 3rd and 4th tiers. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.